Hey, what's going on, Saturday Nation? I hope you're having the best day ever. Just recorded two count 'em podcasts, so check them out when you get a minute. Talking real life case studies about how to create a powerful message and monetize that message. Brought on a new coaching client yesterday, and I shared with that yesterday about how that conversation went. Middle-aged female looking to really now launch their message, their dream, get it out there, been in human resources forever, and they just want to not have a job anymore, and they want to get out there and really get clear on what their message is, number one. And I started thinking, man, that is a very mature way to go about this process, because without that real concrete message about what it is that you do, how could you do anything? I mean, you could have 1 million people visit your website, but if the message isn't really congruent with what they're thinking and what they need, why bother having 1 million people come to your site, you know? And then I thought about this analogy as well. Tell me what you think about this. You ever been to the airport? Yes, probably, everybody. And you don't have that TSA pre-check. You know, that TSA pre-check where people just kind of walk right through. No worries, you know, oh, everything's great. No, doesn't matter when I get to the airport because I'm not going to have to wait in line ever. And then you have people like myself, you know, you don't know what the TSA lines are going to be like. You walk in and there's just this big, like, feels like cattle just being herded through, you know, and it might be a 25-minute wait. You ever been to Orlando's? You ever go through Orlando International Airport? My God, I speak in Orlando probably 2 times a year at events. And you got all the Disney happening. Well, now it's a little different, obviously, with coronavirus. But on a typical, normal travel day, you could be in that Orlando TSA line for half hour, and that's not even that big a deal. And there's kids in strollers, and parents got backpacks, especially the ones leaving Orlando. They're never as happy as when they got there. You know, when you're leaving your airport, like Cincinnati, Ohio, or wherever you live, and you're going to Orlando, it's amazing. It's like, wow, everybody's happy, you know. Oh my God, I'm going through TSA. I don't even care how long it takes because I'm just thinking about Disney World, you know. You leave Disney World and you're like, oh my God, I got all these bags, all the stuff we bought, all the carry-on. And then you see people over to the TSA line, they're just kind of, you know, happy, still happy. You know, maybe a little more tired than they were, but still happy. That's what it's like when you got a powerful message. That's that TSA pre-check line. Because you can take that message and you can go anywhere with it. And everybody else is over there in the regular line, still stuck. What is it that I do? I don't really understand what I do. I don't really understand what my message is. And you're lumped in with everybody else over there. Like, oh, I motivate and inspire people. Okay, well, you hang out over in that line and you may or may not ever get to your destination. You may actually miss the plane, okay? But when you know exactly what you do, and somebody says, hey, what do you do? What result do you provide? You are super specific with that result. That's going through that TSA pre-check. You're going to get to your flight. You're going to get to your destination. As we say, you're going to arrive at Saturday, and everything's going to work out perfectly. That message you take with you on every journey. That message you take with you on every destination. Does this make sense? I mean, put a like, put a heart, thumbs up. Does that make sense? Because that's exactly what I do, and that's exactly what I teach. I teach people how to get that one message. And guys, it's worth millions. It's worth millions, and it never leaves you. It may change. You know, you may update your TSA pre-check information. You may update your message, but the foundation, that never changes. And there's people who I haven't seen in 10 years, and I remember seeing them at a live event, you know, we both went to, for example, and they still, hey, what do you do? Well, I'm doing, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing online e-commerce, or I got a membership site, but they're never really getting any momentum or any traction. And I thank God every day that I've got that one every day is Saturday message that when a promoter calls me, for example, and they want me to speak at an event, I'm ready. I'm ready with the message. Somebody wants to interview me on a podcast, or I'm going to host a webinar, I'm ready. You can do the exact same thing. You know, you need that one message that you can take with you to any destination, and you go right to the front of the line. You never got to wait. You never got to wonder what it is. And you certainly never have to stress out about it, you know. So I just want to encourage you, you know, come up with that one sentence that when somebody says, what do? You can easily say that. And when a promoter, those of you that, I know we have a lot of people in here who want to become public speakers. let me tell you, if you cannot quickly and succinctly articulate what it is that you do, when you do, what's your presentation about, promoters, they get bombarded with people who want to speak on their stages and speak at their events. You're not going to get asked because you can't. I mean, if you can't say it to them quickly, how are you going to articulate it in front of an audience? And some people are like, oh, well, when the event happens, I'll be sure. No, that's not the way it works. You've got to have this message with you. You've got to have it ready to show and to share with somebody who wants to book you at an event, or if they want you to come on their webinar, or they want you to come on their podcast, or whatever that looks like. Okay? Make sure you get to work on that. It's going to change your life, because then when you have traffic coming into a landing page or a sales page or a Facebook group or something like that, you're ready for the traffic. And that's the audience. That's a virtual audience. That's no different than being on stage and speaking and being ready with your message. Everybody wants an audience. Speakers like, oh, I want to speak in front of 500 people and 1,000 people. No, I would never do that to a new speaker. When I train speakers, that's never, ever step one, is throwing you out there in front of 500 or 1,000 people. Could I put you on a stage? Of course. Why? I wouldn't do that to you as a brand new speaker. You got to get used to sharing your core message first, that zone of genius that you've got, over and over and over again to a smaller audience, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. Because then when you are good and you've done that repetition, you do your reps, as we say in the speaker business, then when a promoter calls and wants you to come speak in front of 500 people, you're ready to go. You're not nervous. You're not second guessing. You know, am I prepared? No, you've shared this on a webinar, a podcast, in front of a smaller audience 1,000 times. That's how speakers make a lot of money. And that's how they get really good, is they start with this basic foundation. This is what I do. So be very careful what you wish for, because you might get that big audience before you're ready. That would crush your self-esteem, your confidence, your bank account would never recover. So take it from me, all right? Learn what that zone of genius, what that message is. I'll help you. If you want me to work with you one-on-one and do everything for you and create this message for you, just get on my calendar. Go to launchwithsam.com right there, and we'll book a call. We'll start working together. I will create your message. I'll share you why it's such a powerful message, and I'll show you how to start sharing that with hundreds and then thousands of people. And you'll be on your way to Saturday, and I'll give you that TSA pre-check ticket so you never got to wait in line again. All right? You go right to the front. All right? You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you back in here next time. Have the best day ever, and get that message tight. We'll see you.